Say thank you, thank you, thank you, 'cause I'm so grateful, oh grateful, I'm so grateful. So I wanna say thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. Thank you for my friends, Spirit, thank you for my friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. My wonderful, my wonderful, my wonderful friends. Now thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. This healing, this healing, this healing day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. Thank you for this day, Spirit, thank you for this day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. This beautiful, this beautiful, this beautiful day. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. So grateful. I'm so grateful. I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. Just thank you. Thank you. I wanna say thank you. I wanna say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. 'Cause I'm so grateful. Yeah. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. I wanna just say thank you now. Just thank you now. 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 Each and every day I'm gonna say thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome. You know, it's so fun to stand up here before the service and just see everybody walking in, and most of us are here every week, but a lot of you react like it's been a month. I love it. It's just so nice. So let's go ahead and begin with our mission statement. To awaken, acknowledge, and nurture the divine in everyone. So we're going to go ahead and go into Surely the Presence.
Surely the presence of the Lord presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel His mighty power and His grace.
I can hear the brush of angels' wings. I see glory on His face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this
Okay, let's just take this presence right into prayer. I invite you to come to your center with me in prayer. Let's walk down this path inward as we come to the Father, Mother, God, the all-knowing presence that is within us, that is sharing this space, that is the space, that is the breath. Divine intelligence, divine love. We know you in our humanness as compassion. And we honor the compassion that we see in one another. We honor the life presence that we see beaming out from our brothers and our sisters, our neighbors, our friends, and even those we perceive as enemies. We know that truth is everywhere present, and the highest truth is not what we see on the outside. It is indwelling. It is ever present. It is what holds up the foundation of each of us. And so I invite you right now to speak aloud the names that you are holding on in your hearts, in your minds, of those that you feel could benefit from someone, anyone, you, being that important person that sees the highest truth for the other. Let us speak those names aloud right now. Sophie, Vicky, Ron, Lois. Yes. Yes, we see these beloved spirits, these holy souls, as truth, as light. We see them now in all their glory, stepping forward in their trials, knowing that in faith, as faith, they are walking the closer walk with God. And for this we are so grateful as we say thank you, God. Amen. Amen. Let's take this knowing right into our Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, in earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread, as forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And leave us not in temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am stronger every moment, every day. My mind is willing and my heart is open wide. I trust my instincts and let Spirit be my guide. I vow to live a life that's real and pure and free, as I continue walking in this mystery. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am grateful every moment, every day. There may be walls, there may be roadblocks in my way, but I can choose to take a higher path each day. And now I know that what I thought was safe and sound was only habit and regret that held me down. I will surrender to my greatest, highest good. I will release any fear that blocks my way. For every step I take is taken in pure faith, and I am kinder every moment, every day. And I'm more loving every moment, every day. I will surrender every moment, every day.
All right, I would invite you now to prepare for meditation just by removing anything distracting from your hands. Okay, breathing in life and surrendering as we let go, let God. Knowing ourselves as the truth, the highest truth that we hold up for one another. We know that it is all good. Everything right here, right now, in this moment is good. And so our word from the daily word today is let go, let God. I let go in faith. Sometimes it can feel as if the weight of the world is on my shoulders. Whenever I think that way, I remind myself that I am never alone. God is within me, and I am within God. Instead of holding tight to my worries, I affirm divine order is at work, and I loosen my grip. I allow my faith to be bigger than my challenges as I take practical steps that enable me to breathe, trust, and release. Taking a deep breath, I breathe in unlimited possibilities. I allow that feeling of infinite potential to fill my body, knowing every solution is mine within God. Though I may not see all the answers right now, they are there. I feel hope, and I am comforted. I allow myself to relax into knowing that within God, all things are possible. I let go within God. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I fear no evil, for you are with me. And so we breathe in. Breathe in unlimited possibilities. And allow that feeling to expand within every cell of our bodies. And with every out-breath, I let go in faith. And it is good. I invite you all now just to focus on your breath for a moment as you fill each breath in your body with those potentialities, and release and let go on the out breath. Surrender. Surrender to the knowing that there is more, that together we co-create more love, more life, more light, more truth in our lives as we learn to walk that closer walk. We know that all is well. All is exactly as it should be. And so it is. Did you feel like you were letting stuff go a little bit more? If you were here last week?
Yeah,
You know, we were talking about how the stuff we hold on to, the stuff that we carry with us is the excrement of our consciousness, right? Basically, it's the shit that we decide we haven't healed it, right? And it's glue that sticks to us, and we take it everywhere we go, and it affects and directs our lives, the decisions we make, the lens through which we see. And so as we're trying to remove that veil, that false lens, we get to see clearly, right? A little more clearly. The more we can release, the more we can let go, the more clearly we can see. And we don't do the releasing by waving a magic wand, right? Darn it. I wish we could. Like if we could just say, oh, I worked on that and I'm done with that. And then it comes back later and we wonder why. Now sometimes we really have done the work, like truly, thoroughly done that work. And that situation or that thing we keep recreating is gone. But sometimes you'll get that memory of it, and you'll get a pain or a little tinge of suffering from that memory. And it's not because you haven't completely released it. It's because the trauma that we have experienced in our lives has created these grooves inside our brains, like physical, like things in us. And so when a new stress forms, it will take the easiest path, and it will find that groove and create that memory. And that doesn't mean you haven't done the work. It just means that there's a new stress and you're overloaded, and so it's finding those familiar grooves. So we've got to be gentle with ourselves. Now, if you do come across a memory and it is triggers profound suffering for you, then there's probably more work to do there. And that's good too, because we get to bring it into the light. We get to say, thank you for showing me where my pain is. Thank you for showing me what is mine still to do. The work that we need to do. And the work that we need to do is always clearing away so that we can allow the divine to come in, so that we can get closer to that truth that is residing within us and make our decisions from that place, because we're communicating with the divine and we get all the answers right there. So when we get to let that shit go, it just opens up space for more. No, more with a capital M, big M. That is life, that is love, that is light, that is all that is good. Because that is what we are receiving, that is what we are welcoming into our lives. And so that is why I'm identifying, at least for myself, and you can decide if this resonates with you, I am identifying for myself that release is my key to the kingdom. My key to the kingdom, because the kingdom is already here. It is already amongst us. We all are already in it. God, heaven, the kingdom of God, the kingdom of heaven is within us already. All we have to do is let go of all the stuff that we have built around it. Right? We've got to let those walls dissipate back into the ethers. There was that Jack Cornfield quote from last week that I really liked. To let go does not mean to get rid of. To let go means to let be. When we let be with compassion, things come and go on their own. So we're not trying to get rid of the monsters in the closet. We're trying to say those monsters in the closet have no power over me. Right? They show me what my work to do is, and that's a good thing. But when I've done that work, I can just let those monsters be. I don't have to fight them, right? We hear these words, and this is a big one, so I might trigger some of you. I'm sorry, I'm just warning you right now. Words like fight cancer, right? You got to fight cancer. And that is just... We don't get what we want through resistance, ever. Ever. It's not truly yours if you're putting up a fight about it. It is allowing it to show us what we need to show us and to let it go. To let it go back into the ethers. To allow it to be. Because we will always need our teachers. Whatever form those teachers take. Whether it's a difficult child, or a difficult boss, or any kind of difficult situation, whether it's a difficult health challenge, these are our teachers. And we need to honor them, and love them, and thank them for serving us by coming to us and showing us where our work is. These are the gifts. They're all gifts. And so if we allow them to just be, and we can be with our teachers, non-judgmentally, then we get those lessons a lot easier. And we get to just let stuff go. It's like, thank you for showing me that. I release you so that you can go show someone else. Whatever it is, right? So my key to the kingdom, speaking for myself, is release. I talked last week about the power of imagination, because we've got our blue candle here, we've got our blue vase, I've got some blue, I wore a lot of blue last week, some of you are wearing blue. This is the color of our power of imagination. In Unity we have our 12 powers, and we celebrate each month. And June is imagination, and it's always been my favorite power, because it reminds me of, Disney and fairy princesses and, these archetypes that we can imagine in their fullness working and coming through us. But it's also what we haven't yet realized, because in our humanness, our human brains cannot imagine the full potentiality that we have for ourselves and for our planet. And so to start with imagination when we're releasing, it's kind of, for me, it just kind of dissipates the idea that I have a clear idea of what I want my future to be, right? This is what I'm working towards. This is my goal. I can see my future clearly, and I'm working towards that. When we use the power of imagination, it kind of softens the edges of that. You know, it allows for more, with a capital M, to come through. More of whatever that is, divinity, to come through. And so when we start with imagination and just kind of soften the edges of what our own personal idea is, then we get to let loose of some control and know that there is always a higher and better way. And then when we do that, there are blocks that show up, right? Always and forever, we have these walls around us. And so we get to practice release. So we go into that power of release, because we just cannot fathom how good our good is. We can't do that alone. And so we need to let some stuff go. And when we do that, when we let go of that control, then we relinquish our will to God's will. We're allowing God's will to come in and direct the flow. So it is my power of release that is my key to the kingdom. And our affirmation for this month is, I let go of any concern and allow good to unfold in my life. Repeat phrase by phrase after me. I let go of any concern. And allow good to unfold in my life. Yeah. So what are those concerns? Right? That's such that's in the realm of concerns. Concern is the fluffiest word. I'm just concerned. Right? If I could just let my concerns go. Well, underneath those concerns are some real issues, right? The not being good enough, the I'm not worthy enough, the nobody loves me, I am unlovable. All these are the roots of the concern. So when you read that word concern, I want you to really think about, what is your concern? What false belief are you holding? That is really not the highest truth of who and what you are. So come up with your own word for concern, whether it's pain or trauma or dysfunction, whatever you're willing to let go of. Something you identify. Maybe you're not able to let go of it completely. That's okay. This is a lifelong process. But what are you identifying as your thing that you would like to work on letting go of? And then once we recognize that, just labeling it, that's all we're doing is labeling it, then we can allow good to unfold in our lives. We can't allow good to unfold in our lives if we are not open to receiving it. It's like having the front door locked, right? You got the deadbolt on, and the delivery guy's at the door, and he's ringing the doorbell, and he brought you your order from Amazon, and you're so excited. And you're trying to open the door. And you don't realize that deadbolt is there. You're looking at the knob and it's unlocked. I'm doing my work. I'm unlocking this. Why can't I get it to open? We've got this fundamental problem here with the deadbolt, this big piece of metal that's going through the wood frame. And we're not able to receive our good. I've got some better ones for you. I printed out some some actual parables. That was pretty good? Okay. That's the visual that I got when I was talking about that. So Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is like a treasure hidden in the field. A man found it and he concealed it. Then in his joy he goes and sells all that he has and buys that field. Again, the kingdom of heaven is like a merchant in search of fine pearls, who on finding one pearl of great value went and sold all that he had and bought it. The kingdom of heaven is like heaven that a woman took and hid in 3 measures of flour till it was all leavened. The kingdom of heaven is like a grain of mustard seed that a man took and sowed in his field. It is the smallest of all seeds, but it grows larger than all the garden plants and becomes a tree. The birds of the air can come and make nests in its branches. What is it for you that you would be willing to sell everything for? The merchant in search of fine pearls sold everything when he found one pearl of great value. It's almost like we have to go back to our power of imagination, because I can't think of one thing, right? There's not one thing that you would hold on to and sell everything, all your possessions, to purchase. But when Jesus was gathering his 12 disciples, when he was beginning his ministry, that's what he was asking his people to do. Let go of everything. Let go of your old ideas. Let go of your old ways, your old life. For I have the truth, and this truth is eternal. And so these people let go of everything that they had, and they moved towards the light. They moved towards truth. They chose that God within. And they didn't really probably fully understand what they were getting themselves into, but they had an inner knowing, and they stepped out in faith. And that's what I'm asking you to do. Step out in faith on this path. What about the man that found a treasure hidden in a field? He found it, and then he concealed it. Isn't that interesting? He found it, and then he concealed it. I would imagine if you have been illuminated by some divine idea that felt like a lightning strike to you, the first thing you're going to do is not to go out and try and just in a disorganized way go around the world and talk about this lightning strike that hit you, right? Or this great revelation. You're going to sit with it. You're going to conceal it for a moment. You're going to let it permeate your being. And then when you realize its value, you're going to give everything away to have it. To have that be the focus of your being. To know that everything you do from this moment forward is going to be a bow, an honor to that knowing within you. And then we've got the woman who found the kingdom of heaven and hid it in 3 measures of flour till it was all leavened. Isn't that what happens when we come up with these revelations? We come with this truth, and it affects everything about us. Right? That when you put yeast in flour dough and you make your bread, all of the flour is affected. All of it rises together. There's not a few pockets here and there that just do nothing, right? It all rises together. And we get to have that experience. We get to be that dough. When we get inspiration and we're willing to accept it within us, we get to let it rise. We get to feel that lightness, that airiness. We get to allow it to lift us up. And when we keep our eyes single, we don't have to get rid of every possession that we have. But our priorities sure do change, right? Our things, our stuff, the walls that we have created, the monsters in the closet, don't seem as important anymore. They don't have the hold over us that they once had. Because we are feeling that, the brilliant light within us. We are feeling like that leavened bread. We are feeling like the man who sold everything to buy the pearl of great value, or to sell everything to buy the field that has that treasure. And so, another thing we talked about last week that I want to bring into this is you can't change the past, right? We've got all this trauma, a lot of it from our childhood, some of it from maybe the childhood wasn't so great, so we had a really rough teenage and early adulthood years. As we are our own teachers, and as we called and magnetized teachers to us, that they're teachers in the metaphysical sense, but they really didn't have our best interest at heart, right? They wanted to kick us when we were down. Those teachers, those guys, right? But we were the ones that drew them to us in our mastery. We did that. And there's so much aliveness in that, knowing that we have that power, that everyone we draw to us we're drawing to us for us. And so we now, when we come to these realizations, we get to forgive people for not being perfect. We get to forgive people for not being who we thought they were going to be for us. Because we have that power to draw them to us, and we have that power to let go of whatever they came to hurt us with, right? Whatever pain they brought us, we have the power to say, okay, I understand. And I'm going to shine light and love on this and gratitude on this. And watch it dissipate. Watch it as it goes right back into the ethers. You can't change the past. You can only make decisions today that determine how your future turns out. Anything we did before doesn't matter. Anything, experience that you've had before doesn't matter. Right here, right now, you are at this point where you are sitting in a loving community that loves you and supports you. You are safe. You are cherished. You are one in the Spirit, and you know that. So you came here today to experience that with other people, to support you, and to hold the highest for you. And it is in this moment that you realize the truth within you is what matters. How you got to this point does not matter. And what you do from this point forward only matters in the sense that in this moment you are making decisions for yourself. You are doing the work of letting go and receiving word. And how you choose, how you decide, the decisions that you make today to bring that word forward into your life is all your power. And so even if you were to leave this place and tomorrow have somebody cut you off on the freeway and you're like, right? That doesn't mean you weren't doing your work today. That doesn't mean we receive divine inspiration and then we go out and we act as if we are enlightened. Again, no magic wands. Wish we had that magic wand, but we don't. So we get to still do that work. But we do it from a place of knowing that there is a higher way. And we accept that as the truth of what we are. So when we are on the freeway and someone cuts us off, maybe we just don't get quite as upset as we used to. And maybe we get to realize, they're going through their own stuff too. And it's all good. All of our teachers are good. They are all for us. And again, Carl Jung from last week, I quoted, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." All right, so for me and myself, I claim that release is my key to the kingdom. I invite you to think about that for yourself as well, because I'm going to be talking about this for the rest of the year. We've got our theme of one humanity, many stories. And as one humanity, we are all the same. We all have the same struggles. Some people looks like they're struggling a lot more than other people, right? But it all comes from that same place that we were talking about before. It all comes from maybe feeling unloved. I am unlovable, or I am unworthy, or I am not enough. These are the root sufferings that are in our consciousness, the trauma that we carry. And for some people that unfolds in much more traumatic ways in their lives. So we get to see that is happening, that is out picturing, but we don't have to claim that as the truth of anyone. We get to forgive. We get to let go. And those fears that we hold, we get to put them back in the closet with the monster and say, "You have no power over me. I'm not denying that you exist. I'm just claiming the truth that you have no power over me." All right. Would you like to think about what that word is for you when we say our affirmation? I let go of any concern and allow good to unfold in my life. We're going to say that again, and I want you to just pick another word. If you haven't figured out what your word is or your phrase is, that's okay. Just say blurt out whatever comes to mind. We're going to do it in unison, so it's just going to sound like a bunch of blah, 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 right? Okay, so we're just going to say that one part of it. I let go of any concern. Say it with me. I let go of any dysfunction. Okay. And allow good to unfold in my life. And allow good to unfold in my life. We claim this as the truth. We claim this as the truth. And so it is. And so it is. All right, I love you guys. That's awesome. Okay, we have a letting go song that Jeannie's going to play for us. You've got the lyrics if you want to follow along or sing along. If you're a Disney fan, you know it.
The snow glows white on the mountain tonight, not a footprint to be seen. A kingdom of isolation, and it looks like I'm the queen. The wind is howling like this swirling storm inside. Couldn't keep it in, heaven knows I tried. Don't let them in, don't let them see. Be the good girl you always have to be. Conceal, don't feel, don't let them know. Well, now they know. Let it go, let it go. Can't hold it back anymore. Let it go, let it go. Turn away and slam the door. I don't care what they're going to say. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway. It's funny how some distance makes everything seem small. And the fears that once controlled me can't get to me at all. It's time to see what I can do to test the limits and break just for me. I'm free. Let it go, let it go. I am one with the wind and sky. Let it go, let it go. You'll never see me cry. Here I stand, here I stay. Let the storm rage on. My power flurries through the air into the ground. My soul is spiraling in frozen fractals all around. And one thought crystallizes like an icy blast. I'm never going back. The past is in the past. Let it go, let it go. When I rise like the break of dawn. Let it go, let it go. That perfect girl that's gone. Here I stand in the light of day. Let the storm rage on. The cold never bothered me anyway.
All right, this is a time where we get to give back. So I invite you to gather your love offerings, your tithes, the gifts that you give in gratitude and love. Not out of a sense of scarcity, but out of a sense of knowing that we share with one another our good fortune. And so I invite you to hold those gifts in your hands as we say together, divine love, flowing as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful.
What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? What do I want? What do I desire? What will bring me to my highest good? Prosperity, prosperity. I claim it, I claim it. Abundance, abundance is mine, is mine. Love, love flows through me, flows through me. I feel joy, I feel joy all the time, all the time. I can have it, I can have it. I deserve it, I deserve it. I claim it, I claim it. It is mine.